In a game like this where you don't have a starter, going too many innings, what do you think getting off to the early lead with 5 runs in the first inning kind of does for the confidence of all these pitchers who maybe don't have as much experience in their play or don't go as far as a starter would?
Well, I think our pitching staff should pitch with confidence based on our run production every time. But it's a good point. And if that helped Riley and TJ settle into the game, that's a great thing. And like I always talk about, we want to play complementary baseball, Ari, and that's a good example of doing that, of getting on top of it and staying with our approach and executing with runners on base early in the game. And it allowed those guys to settle in, and they pitched really good, which I was really pleased to see all of that.
Next question, Matt Moreno.
You have a big series coming up against Stanford this weekend. How important is your kind of one game at a time approach on a night like this?
Yeah, it's awesome. We need to do two things. We need to play within the character of our team, and we need to have a blast while we're doing it. And we're not going to attach anything to it because that would be only complicating it as I talk about it. What a great opportunity that we're really, really excited about. I mean, their team is kind of a who's who of top recruits over the last couple of years, and disappointed we didn't get to play them at High Corbett last year. So we're really looking forward to the weekend, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be highly competitive, and there's nowhere else I think our team would rather be than at Sunken Diamond this weekend.
Daniel looks like he's a more confident hitter right now, or just even more confident in the box. How much have you gotten that sense, and how much has he progressed in that area since the start of the season?
You look at the numbers and you look at, wow, he's had a great season, and he has had a great season. But the improvement, you're right, Matt, has been very big. I mean, as he hit the home run, I turned around to one of the guys and I said, man, he's getting better. I wasn't like kind of enamored with the 2-run homer. It's just like in position to hit, seeing the ball, laying off the breaking ball, the pitch before that, getting the ball up, getting inside it and staying through it where he had some margin for error. And you do that with his bat speed and his strength, it goes over the fence. And I'm really pleased with his progression. And I think he's showing his talent through how quickly he is improving.
Next question, Brian Peterson.
At the beginning of this homestand, you put Mac in the 3-hole, and you were kind of coy on why you did it, but you've stuck with that lineup with the exception of maybe the Bullard Blast thing at the bottom. What has he brought to that spot, and why is it working in your opinion?
I think he brings quality at bats. And what I mean by that is he sets the table, and then he sets the table for Jacob Berry, Ryan Holgate, Daniel Susak, Kobe Cotto. And I was just kind of looking for somebody that could do that. I mean, Dante's kind of the natural leadoff guy. Brandon is, one of our best hitters. And so they're going to create some offense. And I was looking for kind of that middle guy to set the table for those next guys and create some flow and create some lineup balance. And I think Mac brings speed. I think he brings quality at bats, and it has fit really nicely in there. And not conventional, but I think it really works for our team. And I think if you look at the run production over those 8 games, Brian, it would validate that.
Thank you.
Question back to Ari.
With this 3-hit performance tonight, Jacob Berry is now leading the Pac-12 in both average and RBIs. What is it about his approach that allows him to stay so consistent, being a freshman?
Yeah, I think 2 things. I think it's really simple approach and swing. He doesn't have a lot going on, so there's not a lot of he creates a lot of margin for error with himself, but because he's always on time and in position, it's simplistic, and his head stays still because he's into the ground, and he's so strong that he can really move the bat. And so when he creates that margin for error and being able to use his strength within that margin for error, he gets a lot of good results. So I just think his timing and his plate discipline and his simple approach lead him to a lot of consistency.
Next question, Alec White.
Hey, Coach. D1 Baseball earlier today came out with their projected field, and they had GCU in your guys' region. Was today's win, if that happens, is today's win kind of like a confidence booster, considering you guys lost to them last month?
I don't know. I mean, I know that I wanted to play well tonight, finish off this run of home games strong. And, I was kind of just looking at tonight. I mean, I think it could. I mean, kids are kids and they may pay attention to that stuff. I think it's just we have so much between when that might happen and tonight that it's not really on anybody's mind at this point in time. But I'm glad we played the way that we did tonight. I don't think we had an error. I thought the pitchers threw the ball really well, and offensively, we put up those crooked number innings, I think 4 times, and I think our players are really confident. I really don't think the opponent is going to change their approach, whether that's Grand Canyon, Arizona State, or the Yankees.
And then what was Riley's reaction today when you told him he was going to be starting?
He's ready to go. He's excited. I actually, I got the sense or had this feeling he was going to be like, well, it's about time. You know what I mean? Because he's a confident kid. And if you looked up his numbers in high school, you'd find exactly what you want out of a starting pitcher. And I just thought he'd throw good strikes, get us off to a good tempo. He pitched very well in that game at Grand Canyon a few weeks ago. I think he got us like 3 2/3, maybe only gave up 1 run. And I thought it was a good matchup. And really, I just thought he'd throw strikes and give us good tempo. And I know he was excited to be out there.
Are there any more questions for Coach Johnson? All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Have a good night.